The first roast we'll speak about is our chuck roast. Now the chuck roast is cut out of the shoulder area, and you'll see that it has a blade bone there that runs all the way through the roast. And some of them even have a smaller bone at the top. Now the chuck roast is sweet and buttery and so flavorful, but you can see that it has a fair amount of fat in it. We also offer a pot roast. Now our pot roast is cut out of the upper front leg. It has a leg bone, a marrow bone in it. And you can see it's fairly lean compared to the chuck roast. They both will cook down just as tender as the other. That's a chuck roast and your pot roast. I'm going to show you how we prepare them to eat in our family. We start by seasoning both roasts. We are beef purists, so we use salt and pepper only. And remember, what you do to one side, you need to do to the other. So salt and pepper, both sides, or apply whatever seasonings you prefer to use. Now we have a hot pan that we will add the fat of your choice. We use tallow, which is rendered beef fat, and that's what we use to sear all of our beef in. So we render it down and freeze it into ice cube trays for easy use. And we want to sear both sides, and through the magic of editing, our chuck roast is done. Now we'll place our pot roast in the pan, sear both sides there. Once you're done, add a little bit of water, get all that crusty goodness off the bottom to add back to your crock pot. Now to your crock pot, we add onions and mushrooms, just enough water to cover, our juices from searing, and then your roast on top. Don't forget to season your vegetables as well. We are cooking 2 roasts just because it takes that amount of meat to feed our family. Cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. Once it's done, I will remove any bones or globs of fat and break the roast up into more manageable pieces. So you'll see the Brussels sprouts is on the plate now. I'm going to add the rutabagas as our starch for that night. So instead of mashed potatoes, we did mashed rutabagas. And then I spoon a little of that gravy that cooked down out of there, and a healthy serving of the meat. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel because the next video will be how to turn the leftovers from tonight, into yummy roast sandwiches. And so here is our supper. Pot roast with onions and mushrooms with roasted Brussels sprouts and mashed rutabagas. Don't forget to subscribe.